Hi, I'm Diane Bolet. I'm a lecturer at the University of Essex and I study political behaviour and comparative politics, specialising in far-right politics. So I'm here today because I got invited by the Centre for European Studies and Comparative Politics to present a paper that is based on my current research. So right now I'm looking at the political behaviour of farmers and how we can explain the root causes of the farmers' protests that we've been witnessing in the last year and a half in Europe. So my PhD was related on political behavior, and I was particularly interested in why we're starting to see an increase of the far right in the last 20 years. And so one of the things I've been looking at a lot is the role of local context and people that are harmed by structural change at the local level. So I studied my PhD focusing on decline of social infrastructure like pubs in the UK and how that created a spark of support for the radical right. But later on, I moved on to look at other communities that are harmed by, like I said, structural change. And so recently I've been interested in the green transition. So my dual degree between the MAE, Sciences Po, and the Department of the European Institute at the LSE have been wonderful. I've learned so many things in those 2 years. I found these 2 years were very well spread out, in that the first year at the MAE at Sciences Po, you learn a lot about the EU, the foundations of EU policy, EU law. So it kind of really tells you a lot about how the EU institutions are working, and also gives you a sense of, if you want to be a bureaucrat, if you want to work for any of those EU institutions, you really get a great understanding of how each of these institutions is working. Now, in the second year at the LSE, you can then kind of develop yourself, develop an expertise and specialize in one of those three areas. So one of them is about the political economy of the EU, so how the different the institutions that the EU is regulating is working as a supranational body. You can also specialize in other expertise that is focused a little bit more on the international relations and the position of EU relative to other countries like US or China, and how they kind of mirroring each other or trying to work together in partnership, also as potential rivals. And the last point of the LSE is to focus a little bit more on culture, so how the different European countries are working together given the linguistic differences, the cultural differences between, let's say, Eastern European countries and Western European countries, and how that is reflected in different institutions. So in a nutshell, like, these 2 years really help you to get at first a kind of basic foundation understanding of how the EU is functioning, and then to really specialize in one of those areas in your second year. So my advice is to just really enjoy it. It's going to go really fast. I have so many fond memories of my time at both Sciences Po and the LSE. I've made a long-term friendship there, and I'm still seeing them. I've done it 10 years ago, and I'm still meeting with all the people from dual degrees. So you're really small cohort that really stick together. As I said, just enjoy it as much as possible. This is a unique environment in the sense that you have all the best specialists in European studies in any type of areas of European institutions or politics of Europe that are at both these institutions. So this is the best of both worlds, really. And my last point would be to also, one thing we need to be aware is that 2 great cities that you be living in, whether it's Paris or London, and you can have lots of great opportunities there, whether it's job or just fun opportunities as well.
Sciences Po.